Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I hope your day is good. We're better watching this video. Today I'll be showing you a 10-minute stretch to get flexible legs really fast. So this is actually part 2. I posted part 1 a couple of months ago and it was just like a full body stretch to become flexible fast. But in that video I just focused on everything, so you would get a little more flexible in everything. But this video I'm just going to be focusing on leg stretches, so you get really flexible just in your legs. So this is just 10 minutes, so I recommend you do this 3 to 5 times a week for the better results, but you can do it less. If you do, you just get the results a lot slower, but it's fine. So this is for beginners and advanced. So basically I'll be doing the beginner version, but I'll be showing you an advanced version to just get a little deeper stretch, so you can pick which one you're comfortable with. So this is basically for everyone. So without any further ado, let's get started. Whoa, wait. Before we get started, we're going to do a like, subscribe and notification bell challenge. You have to press all those buttons with your thumb in 5 seconds. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Did you do it? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, let's actually get started. So the first stretch we're going to do are called leg kicks. So this is basically the same for beginner and advanced, but if you're advanced, just try and go a little higher. But if you're beginner, just go at your own pace. And eventually, when you do this, you want to just try and get your legs higher and higher. Don't try and do this all in one go, you might pull a muscle. And I forgot to mention, but this video is very useful if you're trying to learn the splits, needle, over splits, anything that requires leg flexibility. We're going to do 10 kicks on one leg. So what I mean by kicks is we're going to go backwards. It's easy if you have something to hold on to. And go forwards, backwards, forwards and backwards. But try and keep your legs straight. It's better if you keep your legs straight and go low instead of trying to go really high and having really bad legs. So we're going to do 10 of them. This includes forwards and backwards. So every time you go forwards, 1. When you go backwards, it counts as 1 as well. So we're technically just going to do 5 full kicks. Now we're just going to swap to the other side. I'm trying to go at a similar pace, but if you find this video too fast, then just pause it and do your exercise and then come back again. But I'm trying to go at normal speed so everyone can keep up with me. Now we got our feet shoulder width apart. So we're going to put our hands up and then you should be by your ears, and then we're just going to go down and try and touch the floor. It's fine if you can't. Just try and touch the floor if you're a beginner, but if you're advanced, try and go down on your elbows. Sometimes you're better at some stretches than others, so just try both and do whichever's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be too comfortable, but you should feel a tiny stretch. So let's do 10 of those. When you're doing this, hold your stretch for about 2 seconds. And try and touch in between your feet. So I'm going to be touching right here. The stretch we did before should stretch your hamstrings, but the stretch we're going to do now is going to stretch our hips. So for this, we're going to put our legs at a wide stance, turned outwards, and we're just going to bend down like this. Try and get your hips in line with your knees, but it's fine if you can't, and just go down. Just go as far as you can. There's no limits, but try until it stretches a little bit. And we're going to do 5 of those. And I recommend you hold this for about 2 seconds and then get up for the best results. But if you're advanced, you should just hold it for a little longer. And another tip is, if you're advanced, put your hands on the ground and do it. So like this, and then go like this, but it's fine if you can't do this. It's a little bit harder. Now just turn your feet inwards, so it should be like this. It should still be in a similar outward position, and we're just going to go forward and reach to one ankle. It doesn't matter which one it is, and then we're just going to hold this for 10 seconds. When you're doing the stretch, it should stretch about here, and your legs should be straight. So especially if you can't reach it and your legs are straight, then just go down like this. Then we're just going to do the same thing, but down to the other ankle. This is 10 seconds as well. So for advanced people, just try and go down a little bit further, and that should stretch a little bit more. Now we're going to stay in the same position again, but we're just going to do the same stretch as we did at the beginning. So we're going to go down, but this time bend your arms like this. So get your elbow and your hand just touch them. And now we're just going to go forward, letting our head drop. If you're a beginner, do it like this. But then if you're advanced, you can move your legs out a little bit more, and then just go down, let your head drop. And we're going to hold this for 10 seconds again. Then we're going to open our legs a little bit more, so we should be in the kind of split position. Just going to bend over to one side, it can be any side. And then we're just going to bend this leg, and we're going to try and push on the straightened leg. We're going to hold this for 10 seconds. Try and point your feet while you're doing this, and try and not get your knee above your toe, because that won't really stretch you. Now we're going to repeat the same on the other side. Make sure to point your toes, because that gives you a little extra stretch. And this should be quite deep. Then we're going to go back to the other side, and we're going to go on the ground this time, and we're going to do this stretch. So we're going to put our legs here, and then we're just going to bring our other leg back. So it's kind of like we're in a split, but this leg should be bent. And just try and push your hips to the ground, and make sure your knee is in line with your toe, because that's how you should be in the splits. And then we're going to hold this for another 10 seconds. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. Hold this for another 10 seconds. If you can't get into this position yet, then I just recommend you go like this, because it's a little bit easier. I'm just going to use your fingers to support you. Now from that position, we're just going to go into a back lunge. So we're going to straighten the bent leg, and then automatically your back leg should be bent. So it's basically like the opposites of what we did. I'm just going to use our hands. I'm going to take one hand, this can be any hand. I'm just going to reach down towards the straight leg. And if you're more advanced, then you can put your head to your knee/foot. And we're going to hold this for 10 seconds as well. Now, all we have to do is repeat the same on the other side. When you're doing the stretch, make sure your front leg is as straight as it can be. Now we're going to go into this pose that we did, and then we're just going to bend this leg sideways, so it should be like this. And then we're just going to straighten out the back leg, and it should be a bit like this. Now all we have to do is to just reach forward. Hold this for 10 seconds. When you're doing this, you should feel quite a deep stretch in your outer hip. If you're not, it means you're not doing it properly. Then repeat the same on the other leg. Still make sure to keep your legs straight and in line. The more you reach out in front with your hands, the more deeper your stretch will be. So if you're more advanced, just reach out really far, and that should make your stretch a little deeper for you. Then we're going to go switch legs again. I know it might seem that as we're going back and forth, but if you do it this way, then you get flexible legs much quicker. So we're going to do the same pose as before, and then we're just going to bring our back leg up, so it should be a bit like this. And if you're more advanced, then try and get it to touch your shoulder, like this. And this should stretch your thigh. And we're just going to hold this stretch for about 10 seconds. Now just repeat the same on your other leg. And we're just going to hold the other leg for 10 seconds as well. So we're just going to do a stretch and hold it on both sides for the same amount of time. Next, we're going to sit down and do butterfly. This is a really common one for people who want to get flexible legs. So all you have to do is just bend your legs sideways, put them together, make sure they're glued together, and then you just have to pull them towards your hip. So it should be a bit like this. Try and get them both to touch. And then all you have to do is to just push down. You can do this by either pushing down on your hands like this, or either just pushing down with your body weight. Now we're going to hold this for about 10 to 20 seconds, but I'm going to do 10 seconds today. Then we're just going to sit down again, and we're just going to put one leg in front. This can be any leg. We're going to repeat this on the other leg later, so it's fine. We're just going to bend this leg like we're sitting cross-legged, and we're just going to bend forward to that leg and just try and get our nose to touch our knee. You should be feeling the stretch about here and sometimes even here. Hold this for 10 seconds as well. Now repeat the same on the other leg. For more advanced people, you can just go a little more forward and try and get your chest to touch your knee. But for beginners, if you can't do it, just try and touch your toes with one hand. We're going to do the other leg for 10 seconds as well. Now, this is the last stretch we're going to be doing, and that's just stretch out our splits. If you have your over splits for advanced people, then just do your over splits and practice them. But make sure to do them on both legs. So I'm going to be stretching my good leg first. If you don't know how to do the splits, then make sure to go and check out my splits tutorial. It's very helpful, and you can get the splits in one day with it, and it's a secret hack. You can hold the splits for as long as you want, but I recommend around 5 seconds. Then we're just going to go down to our other leg, and this is my bad leg, and it's very, very bad. And for your bad leg, I actually recommend stretching it out for 10 seconds because you still need to improve on it. Once you do this whole routine, you can practice your leg flexibility by practicing some more splits, or even just practicing skills that you need to do the splits. And trust me, I'm sure they will be much more easy and painless to do. And that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to give this a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. And once you subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, which will notify you every single time I post a new video. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.